Hey, take a look. Hey, take
Funny, my voice wasn't on. I'm back. Ooh, we're back at Rage. So we did that. That would have been that 1 minute model right here. Don't target the highs at least. So that would be that tap, and if this trade would correctly, that would be the hiding spot. Immediately set target. And this one be break even, or as good as. The target I would take there at least to this high. Look, a bathroom break of 5 minutes. This is how fast the 1 minute goes, of course. We still have about 2 minutes until we have a ridge. I am not in a trade at this point, by the way. Just drawing this out. Want to see if this would play out. That will probably be how far back to the market. So at this point we have a range, and it's believed to be 100 points long. Yeah, that's 110 point long. So our range is about 110 points. That means if we put our contracts correctly, okay, this was the last sweep. So if we go lower at this point, I would take this as your stop. But that's actually a 5 minute. Nicely came up. So if we close below, that would actually be our entry point to go lower. After 5 minutes, the value gap created here. So that would be the same as you would add actually. So say that you actually already were in this trade up here, and that you were already shorting. So once the market came down, we created a value gap right here, and then if the market decides to close below that low, that would be actually your entry, and your stop would be right here for that continuation. So if you say that it would close, so that would be actually your adding, how you would add anyways. See that also as the same as a new trade. We got about 5 more minutes, and then we will see if we have reached to one of the other sides. 50 seconds, we will have that close. I want to see a bit how we react, of course, but yeah, I would put my stop here. If we come up to that high, we came through a few for value gaps, and actually we probably will go all the way back up then. So this would be unexpected. I did not expect us to drop another 200 points. A 5, 4, 3. So that was a close. To be honest, I'm not super convinced, but that was actually a close, so if you have to follow a plan, we need to enter. Again, this was actually, I did not measure it actually, so that was a 79 point stop, so I probably would say one contract, maybe max 2, it depends. Also, no, one contract from okay. So because, look, my wife is one that can follow a plan very quickly, so she sees for value gaps still left in here, so she prefers to put her stop all the way up. I would say this high is okay for me. If we do create a new FEG like we're doing right now, and we can tap this and continue, we can add to this trades and trail our stop with it. I know most of you, I'm not sure that you guys can take this even. It's a small trade, but once I see it to come too high, I probably will call it. So that's a 3-minute tap now that we have. I would prefer that immediately go lower again. I actually did stop with a very special number. Okay, that's a very strong 5 minutes back up. No, Virle, we take the candles from. So if you put it at UTC2, Brussels time zone, it's the candle of 3:30. So you put a 15 minute and then the full candle of 15 minutes, and then if you want to see the 5 minutes, it's actually the 3:30, the 3:35 and the 3:30:10. So until here. So this is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. The one of 45 is actually from 45 to 50 minutes. So that actually came back very quickly. Yeah. And the market decides to do something different. It is. I've seen multiple times when ore drops 100 points, we actually do a lot more. And this was 110. Especially because it's just a daily for value gap, just below. And in the morning session it's UTC2 the same, and it's 8 o'clock, so 8, if it's on 15 minutes from 8 to 8:15, and it's on the 5 minutes it's from 8, 8:05 and 8:10. And then 5 minutes after that we need a breach on the up or down part of the range. So this is actually as far as I want the market to go. We have created an unfungled candle right here at 3 minutes. 5 minutes is also quite bigger. We still are in a 2 minute for value gap, but we did tap that, and if we do continue higher we'll probably get stopped in a very fast moment. So this is like the height that we can come. Yeah, of course. This gives you a month for free. I'm actually not sure if there is news today, or there was already news, I believe, this morning. Anybody know who Fats Bowman is? He's speaking in about a minute. Well, we're in here, we can only be patient, of course, again. How much would this reduce our stuff? 33 points. Let's be patient. That's all we can do. The market still shows us that it wants to go lower. Look at this 1 hour candle. Same for the 4 hour. It actually came down pretty far. So we now actually created a 15-minute value gap. Would be nice that we just tap that and then have a nice reaction to these lows here. This is about how far I want to see it come, and I want to see that drop again. So it swept that liquidity. Yeah, this is coming all the way back up. Okay, we'll probably will be -1 R here. So it stopped doing its thing. We're actually inside a 15 minutes for value gap, so not much we can do. That one was not here yet. Once we breached, we did had one. But then I want to give a 100-point stop. So if you feel anything from emotions right now, just let it be. It's okay to take a stop for once. We can take it. Yeah, all of us would be in only with one contract anyway, so no use of telling me take one off. It was we're going to TP directly or not. And because we did not sweep that first low, I actually believed that we were gonna go lower, at least to this low. So we're now halfway that 50-minute fair value gap, or 3/4 of a way. So if you can't focus on the charts, do something else for a minute. We're just sitting and waiting anyways, or being patient. Yeah, this is a pretty strong move back up, so at the first sight it does look like it wants to take everything back. Wat was dat? Dat is dat kunnen worden? Ja, waarschijnlijk. Dat is oké. Ik had wel zien dat hij blijft spelen. Wil je met hem? Zit hier. De helft is niet zo niet meer uit. So I do want to see this 15-minute drop about, and then in the next minute I do want to see a drop. If not, that will be our stop. Another 3 minutes. Is it everywhere so hot, like in here at this point? I believe it's 35 degrees right now where I'm sitting. Part 2 of the audiobook is actually on its way. Så vilket alla var spelen. Plats för zelfde spelen. Dat was in de plek dat ik heb zitten dan. Nog niet. Ik heb toch niet veel gezegd. Zit al gewoon. So we have a nice 5-minute for fatty cap right here. If the next 30 seconds, if we touch it, I do want to see us fall through it immediately. So if we touch it and come all the way back up, yeah, we will get stopped immediately then. So about 20 seconds we will know. This is actually a big 15-minute candle back up. I don't want to see this actually. We could have come up and then actually halfway back down, would be great. But this is actually cool, rather high. No point to say you can drop your stuff about what 4 points. That's not even worth it. So as an orb trader, make a decision for yourself too. If we drop 100 points and you don't like the size of the stop, or it doesn't feel comfortable for to start with, maybe then be patient and see a bit later how the market, how he reacts. So if he comes back, you can enter then, but if he continues lower, then you just have to be able to let it go then too. Write that down in your trade plan if you're trading the NY session anyways. So you could have chosen to put your stop here, or you could just be patient until actually we came back halfway, or almost halfway that orb, and that just entered. I would have reduced. It doesn't always happen, of course, but write it down so that if it happens, you don't have to think about which entry should I take. I personally would have taken it immediately too. I see it too many times happen when this happens, falls, and we actually continue fall for another 150, 200 points sometimes. I believe this is an open candle. So that was 40. So this was the open candle, and afterwards exactly immediately again. This was not one. Step part up. Find the take a look if we find another one. Yeah, right here. So 1, 2, 3, huge rally, and then actually we continue to another. This was the close. So we started a rally of about 70 points to 100 points, and we rallied another 135. So like I said, I can't ask you to reduce the contract because it's not possible, so be okay with the trade for today. The outcome will come in about an hour or something. This is actually a good exercise for your mental capacity for seeing a trade in the not positive. So the bigger the capital comes, the bigger the not profits are too, of course. And you need to be able to withstand, even if you already hardly know that your stop will be hit. You need to be able actually to let go of that too. Not adding, our stop is placed at a reason why it is placed there, but actually just, yeah, we could have reduced a bit, but it was not possible. So if you entered, you chose yourself to enter it. I would have preferred to see this immediately fall below that wick again, and then we would see the actual continuation, but for now we still have a 50-50% chance. The reason why we came hugely gap down, we did take a lot of liquidity. We came back up to 75% almost of this range, what indicates that there is a big possibility, if we want to continue, that we do it from here. This is why you see markets drop, come back up to halfway, and then continue further.
Dus een eerste een half uur. Of direct een 2 uur. Maar ons dan verschil, man.
Zoals met een hele weer 4 uur kan volhouden. Weer 2 uur.
Ik ga het wel doen.
Ja.
Ik ga het wel doen. Maar mama, als het over de 2 uur is, mag je het ook gaan zeggen, want mij gelooft het niks.
Yeah, this actually does look like it wants to go. Continue. In about 3 minutes we will see how this one closes. That would be nice to see if it actually drops below that wick again. If we do, we have a bit more chance, of course, that it goes in our way. Wat had ik speciaal moeten zijn in de keer? Kan ik niets van doen. Bij erin zitten. Uithouden. Aliana, mag ik nog een keer het water hebben?
Laat mij erin, ja.
Dank je. Giving lessons and morning session 2 hours and now 2 hours. I'm not used to speaking 6 hours on the road. I'm 100% sure that everybody felt some emotions right here when we got that close. Do write down what kind of emotions that you felt. And if you did nothing, congratulate yourself too. From keep doing nothing. So we did already do something, we entered the trade, so... For anybody who was not here in the beginning of the session, I actually asked the question, but I believe my mic was off when I asked the question. So my main question is, what would you prefer? Once you are actually in profit, take a partial and stop at BE, full stop or full TP, or take a partial and leave stops and then see what happens afterwards. So now the continuation is actually 2 more minutes, of course. So everything the mind made up right here, now it will be gone, that feeling, I know. So definitely write down what kind of feelings those were, so that you recognize them and don't do anything while we're actually inside the trade. So the last one, Blake, so you mean take a partial and then leave stop and take profit where it is? Or don't open take profit and just let it go? Yeah. Best idea too. I see now we recently took profits in orb and then moved stops up. I came out too, that way. But some people just want to take profit and then just make sure that they keep what they have given or have gotten. So 29 more seconds. Would be nice to see if it closes. So that was our first wick. If we don't react on this wick, we will fall all the way. Definitely to 23,600 or maybe even lower. So this took a while, but we just be patient. That's all what we can do. And if we do hit full TP now, you will even be more grateful that you actually did not move anything. So there is a possible... We do have a feature right here. Yeah, for most of us, this would be the last liquidity sweep right here, so that wick on that 15 minute. So you could move your stop a bit. Continue. Sick. Maybe that one. I would even say you can actually move it a little bit lower to that 15 minute, actually the black candle itself, to this one. So this reduces actually 22 points. The market has just tapped that one. By the way, if you are an adder, that was an adding point too. We came back, we retested the for value gap and we closed below the last candle to the upside. And I would take a look at the around number 600 to take some profits, or be patient for that 23,586. So it will be the round number. So the reason why this is actually also a place where the market could change is, if we watch back, that was this week right here that we just tapped, and we can see that the market actually rallied fast away from this. So there could be some leftover orders right here, people that went long here, and that was a small trend line liquidity that was built up. So the reason why I said you could put your stops here, you have a 5 minute for value gap right inside this one here. We do not want to see that completely get filled, so that would be that week's high. If we see that, there's a big possibility that we actually go even higher back up. So we want to see that continuation right here, especially because the market moved and then it moved again. Persoonlijk die week, omdat dat de gap is en dat stond er lekker van. Dat is zo'n main. So that would be that 5 minute. But like I said, if somebody prefers to keep their stop where it is, you don't have to follow 100%, of course, guys. Keep your stop. If you want to keep your stop where you want to have them, keep them there. Type of route stop. So now once we close again below that wick again here, that's actually the same what we redone again. So we had a 5 minute for value gap, we tapped it, and then if a body closes below actually that wick, that's an entry point. We keep it at same target, and then all stops can actually become at that low. Still looks like the market wants lower. So there is still, under this liquidity right here, there's still a 4 hour value gap that's not fully tapped yet. And there is a daily right here under it too. So that would be actually the aiming point, maybe for this week even, that we could take out those. But let's stay focused on the market today and see what this market first of all brings us. So like I said, if we have a body close again below that wick, that would be another adding spot, because we came in a 5 minute. Did we come in a 5, right? Oh no, we did not. Where did we came into? Oh, sorry guys, I missed. So no adding here. We did not tap that 5 minute yet. We immediately actually went lower. I do want us to continue right here now. So that 600 number is just around the corner, so that would actually be the target. Or the first target, and then put your stop at the high of that candle, and then I want to see that continuation. There ain't much reason for us to come back up. The only thing there is still is that fair value gap right above us for then the continuation, and it needed a little bit more liquidity, but at the rally of these candles looking like it looks like it's targeting some point. And most of the time, like I said, are those round numbers. And because there's a 4-hour fair value gap and some trend line liquidity right here, it probably will take it all out. So this made have felt a strange orb, but you can see, I see it too many times happen once we have fallen 100 points and we actually fall another 100 points. It would be strange to leave your points behind, of course. We want to take something from the market or get something from the market when we're trading. So this is following a plan and not the head. Is that final TP? Actually, no, that wouldn't be final TP, but that's actually first TP where I see the market go. At this point, I need to be patient and see where the market could go next. So we just hit that 600 round level, 600.25, something like that. So that's the 600 level right now. But actually here, I want to see if we can fall to the 4-hour fair value gap just below, or does this liquidity right here is enough to push the market back. And that I don't know before it actually happens. Here I still need to be patient. For me, at this point, this market still looks very much want to go lower. But not because it wants to go lower in a longer period of time. It does not mean I can retrace back up. So it would be sad to give an R collected, almost an R or an R collected back to the market when we actually were nicely in profit. Especially if you add it one more time, you actually have at least 1 R or a bit more right here in profit. Do know that we actually dropped another 55 points, and final TP, yeah, that would be that daily gap. This would be final TP. That would be 23,500, but I am not sure that will happen today. When the market moves like this and we go lower, this is the first target. And then look now, I can be patient and see what happens. Actually, if we create a new 5-minute fair value gap, where will it go to? Will it continue lower, or will it want to take up some higher liquidity? Here I prefer immediately to see after this 5 minutes is closed, a tap and then a continuation lower. Because the next gap is all the way up here already. So that would be this gap here. I don't want to see that happening. Wat zie je wel dat we een 5 minuten geraakt en dat ik zeggen? Nee. 102 geraakt. Too many boxes on my screen. Yeah, normally if I wasn't trading with you guys, I would trade blank, so there would be nothing on my screen. I actually see them better. I just leave them on for you guys, so that you actually can observe it better. So that orb we actually don't need anymore. Like I said, this was first TP, that would be the 600. And now if we do continue lower, this is just the same strategy over and over again. So this could be a new adding spot. If we tap that 5 minute for value gap and make a breach to the low again, that's again an adding spot that we have. Or you just had some patience and let the market fall further down. I'm still sitting here, so next target would be that 4 hour value gap right here. I believe now we've taken most of the trend line liquidity. Yeah, so there's one more just below. We've taken out the second trend line liquidity, so now let's see if we take out a third. I hear the market can give some reaction off of this because there is stops, so there was actually sell side liquidity under those trend line liquidity too, so people that were long. And we are shorting, so we are buying up, so people are selling here their short position to those people, so making that they actually took the profit off. So like I said, the 600 level, so you would be actually somebody that bought up or sold off your share of the market to them. But can the rally fall? Yeah, of course it can easily fall much further now. But for that I just need to be able to watch the charts at the moment itself. If you're not able to sit here for the rest of the period, yeah, you just put your TP and just be happy with it. So once we touch this, we will just drag along, see how far we get. Like I said, final TP would be actually that daily gap. That was a fast move. So that was actually that 4 hour for value gap right here. So that would be at least one hour and a bit that you're at now. And then yeah, continue, see where it gets. So how can we trail stop this up now? So this is actually a good exercise for everybody. So I would make sure your stop or your profit is now already at that 600 level. So we don't give anything back from this height. So this would all be profit already to that 600 level. So that was actually the TP, and we fell a bit through now. So we don't want to give anything more back to the market, and we just can drag our TP a bit lower by low. And let the market decide how far it wants to go instead of us today. Now we see a 1 minute. If we see a 1 minute change, immediately push back up. We can actually, if we go above that 4 hour value gap, I would take it off. So that would be 23,580 or 90, say 10 points even lower than a 600. If it hits, it's done. This way you actually keep most of the profits constantly. You can see in this daily candle, I don't believe we're done yet. So the next target, if we zoom out, is actually once this liquidity does nothing, right here. That was the only thing stopping it from immediately going to that daily fair value gap right here. There's nothing in between anymore. So the first thing that we were in, let me explain why, is actually this daily gap. We had a reaction. I wanted to see a reaction off of this because we had a bullish structure, and then I want to see us come down. But once we hit that daily fair value gap, as long as we don't break this low, this actually holds value. So that means that this market could still rally up. Now we've taken out that daily fair value gap and we actually closed that wick off. So this would have protected wick for the upper movement, because this was the last sweep after the continuation. So that means that we actually now could make a change in direction in the daily form. Probably not in the weekly yet. So we're still in the weekly. We just took out the weekly low too. So there's a lot of volume right here. For today, there's still possibility to come to here, but I would not risk too much back to the market. I would actually trail it as fast as we can. Right here. So for today, put to your notes, first of all, If we drop 100 points, will you enter immediately after the close, or will you be patient until you have the retracement? Make up for yourself which part you will do and keep to it. I will keep doing it immediately because I know we don't always have that retracement. That's my point of view. This is how I like to do it. Second of all, did you add? If yes, good. And if no, why not? Ask yourself the questions, journal it, so that will probably be the stop right here already. So for now, that was actually a nice continuation move. Write down all the emotions that you got, journal it. That will be it, of course, for today. I will not take another trade, of course. But I didn't even take one yet. Oh, come on, another 8 weeks or 7 weeks. I'm getting there. See, this is why I actually love Orb. You can play it sometimes in the morning and in the afternoon sessions, and if they work out both, you actually have a nice day. A very nice day. Because the Orb session in the morning was up, and the down and in the afternoon session it was lower. So, but still here, if you held and you did not move it all the way, you can always see how we react. So this is actually, the market constantly does this. This is how we add to positions. And the market does this over and over again. This is retracement into for value gap and then a continuation movement. And actually when we close, that's the position where then you enter your short again if this closes. Stop at a high, so we should not come back and then continue lower. Like I said, this would be our next target if we fall through this. Okay, I wish you all a very great afternoon session for the rest of the day. I'll be off. So if you want to hold all the way back to 23,000, I would take 508. I would take the top of that for value gap. You probably can. It's still doable. And I would definitely then put your stop take a look if we have a 5 minute that we have retracement on. Yeah, this should actually be a stop as maximum 23,622. That's probably your entry too. And that would be definitely full TP. I don't see it go much lower than that at this point. No much value in it. If I had the chance, of course, I would add. I always add maximum 3 times. So if we add to a trade, I say 3 times is like my priority maximum that I would do. So this was the first trade when we entered. That was a 15, 25, 24. So this was the first one. We put our stop just on our wick, and that was the 4-hour target that we could have taken. The second one that we could have entered was right here. After that close, the stop was right here then. And then here I wish that we would have tapped the last 5 minutes again. We did not, so I did not have an extra entry. So now you only can do is actually be patient until we have a new 5 minute for value gap created out of it. Then see a tap and then a continuation again. And then you can add again if you want to. But put your stops at least, if you did add here, yeah, I would put everything at this high. That would be at 23,622. if we want to go lower, we should do it right here directly. No point of us coming halfway back up and then giving almost everything back to the market before continuing. So I hope this was guideful. I was a bit more silent, but it did help not speaking. I hope you all stayed in the trade too. Wish you all a good trading session for the rest of the day. If you take some profits, get off at least and stop trading for the day. See you all back tomorrow morning.